everyone, welcome back to the Walking Equestrian podcast. I am here with a really exciting guest.
Oh, shut up.
No, such an exciting guest. So, you guys all know, in the equestrian community, Beyond the Stable and Atlantic Harmony, we're interviewing everyone. So, I have got Megan, Scott.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I jinxed myself then. I was like, oh my God, Scott. I'm keeping all of this in as well. I was like, oh my God, no. So, you've come on the podcast, so introduce yourself.
Oh God, okay. So how much do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?
You can tell me. So, what's your name?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Okay, Megan Scott.
Megan Scott, yeah.
Yeah, that's
How
me.
old are you?
I'm 24.
And what are you? So you own Atlantic Harmony?
Yeah.
What are you? She's a human.
Yeah. No, so I own an equestrian clothing business called Atlantic Harmony Equestrian. I also have a podcast called Beyond the Stable where I basically just go and interview loads of really cool people.
And you were my inspo for doing mine.
That's
Actually,
so
no, genuinely
sweet,
serious.
Tay.
Not even to like lick your ass, literally.
Tay was my first guest as well on the podcast.
Yeah.
Which
Oh
is
my God, so
crazy.
scared.
That feels like so long ago.
You came round
Yeah.
to Joe's house and sat on the blue sofa. And then you've had the most amazing guests on
Yeah,
there,
like I've been so lucky. Like the caliber has been unreal.
big word. Big word, really good word. So you are horsey.
Yes.
Tell us about your horse.
So I have a horse called Monday.
Yes.
That I share with my mum. And we just constantly argue about who gets to ride him and who gets to do what.
Yeah.
But he is such a dude. Like he's so cool. Like he's kind of been there, done it. Like was a bit green, like schooling wise, as like he couldn't do like the dressage movements and stuff that I wanted to do. But we've come on so far, and he's just been amazing for getting my confidence and stuff back because I had a bit of a rocky journey in like riding, had a couple of bad falls and stuff.
We'll go into that. Yeah, we'll go into that.
But yeah, no, he's so cool.
So how old is he?
He is 16.
Oh,
Yeah, just
darling
getting older.
angel. And what breed is he again?
So he is a cob, but he's more sporty. Like his legs are quite fine.
Is he a cob?
Yeah.
Really? We all know we love a cob here.
We do.
Absolutely. Cobs
Cobs
can.
are the best. Yeah, cobs can.
Always, yeah. My little cob has literally started everything, so I love that. So, yeah, you've got a really close relationship with your mum, haven't you?
Yeah, my mum and me do like everything together.
She's on your TikToks a lot.
Yeah.
I love that. I literally love that. So, do you think he is what has kind of kickstarted your businesses?
No,
really?
not at all.
No
Like
way, Jose.
you see a lot of brands out there that have like named their brand after their horse and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right?
And that hasn't come from
No,
that?
it was nothing to do with him. Bless him. He's so cool.
No,
He's
like,
such
yeah,
a dude.
yeah.
But no, nothing
But no,
to do
sorry,
with
mate,
him.
you're not part of it. No, that's really nice. So, how long would you say you've had him for?
3 years. Sorry. I'm looking.
wow. Oh, yeah.
For confirmation over
Yeah,
there.
we've got confirmation. 3 years? Is it 3 years? Is it more?
Is it like 3.5?
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Cool. So, Atlantic Harmony, tell us a bit about that. What is Atlantic Harmony? Talk us through it.
So Atlantic Harmony is a clothing business. Tay's repping. Oh, I'm repping, obviously.
We're both
Imagine
repping.
if I wasn't repping,
Yeah.
you were wearing it.
Yeah,
No, it's a clothing company. I started it like a year and like 8 months ago now, so it's almost 2 years old, which is crazy. I know,
Really?
that's mental, isn't it? Tay
Actually,
was-
if you think about it, because your event was a
year
year
ago.
next month. Mm-hmm. That feels literally a couple months ago, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
mental.
That's crazy.
and you were
Sorry.
like the first person I gifted stuff to as well, so you've been in it from the very beginning.
Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm doing a love heart. Really?
Yeah, you were literally like the first.
Oh, that's really
But yeah,
nice.
it's my little baby.
Yeah.
I love it.
And behind the scenes, talk us through it, because we're all authentic over here, because it's obviously no job ever is. There's going to be hard days.
Yeah, I
So-
think because I never sat down and thought like, oh, I'm going to start an equestrian clothing business. Like that was never a thought for me.
Yeah.
So I come from like a marketing background, and if you're a marketer, you know you do lots of graphic design and stuff in marketing. It kind of just all crosses over.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of my friends have like small businesses and stuff like that. So I'd always be designing like little logos and stuff for them and doing bits and bobs. And then one day I was just sat down playing in Illustrator and Photoshop, and I came up with the Atlantic Harmony logo, and I absolutely loved it. And then I went down to the pub that night and just said to all my friends, "Oh, I'm doing this business." Like fully didn't believe what was coming out my mouth. And then the next day I woke up and I was like, God, I kind of have to do that now.
Yeah.
But like even as a kid, like I always knew I'd do something business related, because like I went to like theatre school and stuff like that, and I'd always look at like the teachers and be like, why don't you open your own theatre school? Or like my friend, she is a hairdresser and she's very content with just being a hairdresser. She doesn't no aspiration to open her own salon.
Like, that's
or,
her thing.
Yeah, no aspiration to like get her own chair. Like she's just quite happy getting her hourly wage, and she's happy with that. And like, if you'd asked me like before I started my business, I would be like, how can you be happy with that? Like, why don't you want more?
Like you're hungry a little bit,
But like now I've started the business, I totally understand that like you could be content with that because it is hard.
It is hard work. Yeah, I can imagine. So your business, is it just you?
Yeah, well, I have some amazing people who help me out a lot. But like day to day
It's you. So like packing orders and things, that's you.
Yeah, I do it all.
Crazy.
Sometimes mum will do some, and like I do have friends and stuff that like, because a lot of my friends are still at uni or they kind of like work part time, so if they're bored they'll come around and help me. And they are
close knit are like really they help you out. No, that's really so nice. So Atlantic Harmony obviously, how does that come into it? What is the meaning behind the name?
So Atlantic part, I was just playing about in Photoshop. Creative. If you want to go a bit deeper, then the Atlantic Ocean surrounds the UK. But, and then the harmony part, obviously you work in harmony with your horse, but also I want equestrians to work better in harmony.
In harmony, yeah. So that's the like message behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it can be tough out there. So bringing the harmony, we love that. So your Atlantic Harmony has been open how long now, did you say?
Almost 2 years.
2 years.
Say 2 years. We'll round it up.
We'll round it up. And what is your sort of biggest achievement so far?
Jesus. I want to say the event. You came to the event and I just think like...
Didn't I say to you all night, I was like, this is literally amazing. I was like, you should be so proud of this. Because like, that would have taken a lot.
Yeah, it was so cool. Like it was like I did it on my own, like the planning and stuff. Obviously, I had some amazing people that are helping me on the night, and like it wouldn't have been possible without them at all. But yeah, I just feel like that was so big, like 200 people there, and like it was mental. Like looking back on it, it's still like wow.
Like guys, just for context of this event, no, don't apologise. no, it's just how cool it was. Like there was demos, there was a meet and greet, there was like obviously all the crowd was there. We had influencer games at the end, and bear in mind the whole thing pulled off, and then bless you, it was so cold, which was completely out of your control, but it's still like it was entertaining from start to finish. It wasn't like there was a little dip in it at all. And then you had some like really informative. You had the bit lady and things like that. Like it was so good. It was so good. So would you say that's your biggest achievement?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
There's so many like little things that like you'll feel like you have that imposter syndrome whilst you're doing them. Or like
all the time.
I'm really bad. So like me and Amelia went down to Cornwall the other week and we were on a walk on the beach. If you don't know Amelia, go check out the Atlantic Harmony TikTok. She's all over
Amelia
them.
is amazing. She's all over.
Yeah. But we were on the beach and we were just like chatting like rubbish the whole time, like walking down. And then I was like, what are you thinking in your head right now? Like, what do you think about like as you're just like walking along? And she was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I think like don't fall over and watch that step and stuff like this. And then she went, I think a lot about like how lucky I am to be here as well and like reflect on that. And I went, God, I never reflect. I'm so bad at reflecting and I need to do it more. Like it's
like
not
a pinch yourself moment. Yeah.
Until like you sit down and you ask me like, oh, like what's your biggest achievement? I'm like, I don't actually know because I've never sat and
You're
reflected.
on go all the time.
You're always looking like to the next thing.
Yeah. Like practicing gratitude and things. Yeah, I think it's so hard, especially because like I can imagine with the podcast and things, like your days out are long because you're travelling to people and things like that you sometimes don't have time.
Yeah.
And because obviously you're like communicating with people all the time. I can imagine when you switch off, you're just like, yeah, I'm off now. Do you know what I mean?
You did it to me the other day when I was down in Cornwall filming with the guys I was filming with down there.
Voice noting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you went to me, oh, like hats off, like what a big milestone. And I thought, oh, it actually is, isn't it? Like,
it's massive. It's literally, because if you think about it, like, again, guys, don't quote me, but you're getting in contact with people that a lot of the sort of businesses and things haven't, like, fully got in contact with yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've just started it, you're 2 years in, and you're in contact with so many big names in the community. Like, that is wild. Crazy. Literally crazy. Literally crazy. So when you started out Atlantic Harmony, and you can be totally honest, like, where did you see it going? Or were you honestly doing it on a whim? Because I did my business on a whim.
Yeah.
And I'm open and honest about that. Like, I literally didn't know where it was going.
I think as soon as I'd figured out what the ethos was and I knew what I wanted the company to stand for, from there it's always been easy and where I want it to go. So like I don't want it just to be like another logo on a hoodie, like at all. Like there's loads of them out there. If you want a logo on a hoodie, there's thousands. I wanted it to like hold a purpose and hold a meaning, and that kind of made it easy in like terms like right, easy step. We start a podcast because we want to help educate people.
Yeah.
We do the event because we want to build a community. Like, and it's just keep going like that.
Yeah.
Like once I had the ethos, then it became easy.
It became easier.
Yeah.
And also you're not just a clothing company, because like you said, there's so many out there and it's like quite competitive from what I can tell. But you have your little things, like you've got your drinking game.
Yeah.
Your Beyond the Stable drinking game. Then you've got the podcast, and then you've got the clothing brand. So you're not just, someone else who's just like put clothing out.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing all these little things.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I, honestly, like in the best way possible, but it's so like, you should be so proud of yourself. I say it to you all the time, but you should be. You
So
should be.
sweet.
No, honestly, seriously. So going from Atlantic Harmony through to Beyond the Stable, it was Atlantic Harmony first.
Yeah.
Then the podcast came. What was the idea? What was the reasoning behind starting that?
It was kind of like, if I'm being totally honest, obviously that I wanted to educate people and I wanted to share like information with everyone. But obviously from a business mindset, it was kind of a cheeky way to advertise myself. So like you said, I've made some really good contacts through the podcast and they're wearing my clothes, and that wouldn't have happened without the podcast. So it was a very cheeky way to advertise, but it has also been like amazing to build the community more, and that was the whole thing.
Like, I don't think it's cheeky. I just think the podcast is the podcast because you want to educate people, and it's entertaining. It's so entertaining. But then you might as well add your other business into it.
Yeah.
So it's like I wouldn't say it's cheeky. I'd say it's just you're just doing two at the same time.
Yeah, it all comes back down to the community side of things.
Exactly.
Like, everything that I've ever done is community based.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. And Beyond the Stable, is that because you wanted insight into sort of like people's personal lives a bit more? Like, because you say Beyond the Stable.
Yeah, I guess. I feel like there wouldn't be much point in me going around doing the podcast and just speaking about things that are already out there.
Yeah, so true.
You want to dive that little bit deeper, don't you? And ask those questions that no one else is asking to make it interesting so that people want to watch and it's beneficial to people to watch.
And your guests that you've had, like, have you had anyone where you've like what has been your most favourite episode where you've gone, I've really enjoyed that and it's like stuck with me?
I'm not just saying this, and I know this is like such a cliche answer, but every single person I've filmed with has been either educational, inspirational, funny, like something. Everyone has added.
You've taken
their own.
something.
Yeah, every single person. I've loved every single person I've filmed with. I don't think I could just pick like one like episode that I love.
Yeah.
And like you guys don't even get to see like the off-camera bit. I think the main thing that I've loved so much is everyone's so nice.
Really?
So nice. Like, I'll go like and I'll speak to these people and they'll sit for me for like 20 minutes after we've filmed and be like giving me business advice and
no, they don't just get up and go, I'm done with that now.
They're so lovely and like so helpful, and like obviously the people that I've been speaking to have been in the industry a lot longer than me, so they do have more knowledge to share with me. Yeah. And they're happy to share it. Like everyone's been so lovely. Like,
that's really good. That's really, really nice. Because I suppose as well, like it's nerve-wracking. Like, because you have had some big faces. Like, if I saw something, I'd literally be like, oh my God. Like, fangirling a little bit. So, what are your, like, do you get nervous? Like, nervous? Don't know what I think
I just overthink, like, the start bit. Like, going in, like, do you shake their hand? Do you hug them? Like, do you not touch it? Oh, that's the bit that I hate. As soon as I'm in there, I'm fine. Yeah. It's just walking through the door.
So, like, now we're going?
Yeah.
Fine. It's walking through the door. It's getting there. Because I suppose as well, like, because you've got to set up all your lights and your microphones and things, I suppose there's that little bit of like, can I set up in your space? Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Just like, you're coming into their zone, aren't you?
Yeah, and being like, right, move everything out the way. Can I have the chair? Yeah, no, 100%. So, yeah, what, in your, like, when you're doing the podcast, like, do you ever have a moment where you're like, what am I talking about? What am I saying?
I had a couple moments like that with Simon Grieve. I did feel very like, wow, because he had been on my list for a while and I never thought I was going to get hold of him. Yeah. And I did. And because with Simon Grieve, I don't think he'll mind me saying this, I'd been messaging him for a while and then all of a sudden he said, do you want to come tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, okay, I can do. Yeah. So with him, I just felt like, oh my God, like I didn't even know I was coming here like 6 hours ago. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I love that.
And like same with Tina, I just filmed with Life on the Left Rein and I was meant to be filming with her on a different day. And I got there and I walked in and Susie, like, she does like her PA kind of stuff and she went, so Tina's going to do tonight. And I was like, okay,
let me just prep.
Yeah, so there's a couple little bits like that, but like you just get up and get on with it, don't you?
And also that's bound to happen. It's not a bad thing. It's just like a bit of like, oh my God.
Yeah.
you're gonna have those moments, and I think it's nice when you do have those moments because you have that little bit of like you look up to those people a little bit. Like I'm guessing you're like, wow, like you've gone 5-star, or like
I think I'm lucky in the fact that like even as a child I've never been like a fangirl of anyone, like even like when Justin Bieber or like anything like that, even as a child I never got excited, and like I couldn't even think of a single person now that I'd be starstruck by. I don't think so.
Fair enough.
So I think that does help me keep my composure because I've never been that kind of person.
I'd literally be the worst, guys. I'd actually be the worst, honestly. So yeah, what are your next goals for the podcast?
Oh my god, so many.
Really?
I love the podcast. The podcast, like, I obviously love the clothing, but the podcast is what really makes me excited. Like,
do you have like
so
a fire
much.
in your belly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. I want to do some stuff live. Would be really, really cool.
Cool.
Whether it's like on someone else's stage, like at another event, or if I do my own event or something. I really want to do some live stuff.
Live shows, yeah.
And like presenting wise, like I'd really like to go down that route for like myself personally. Like I think that'd be really cool. Just keep growing it. I think I've been quite lucky in the sense when I've hit the market, because there's other equestrian podcasts out there, but they've not been consistent in the way that I've been consistent, I think. So I think I've been lucky in like just grabbing that niche just at the right time, and hopefully, I mean, I could be wrong, I could look back in this in a few months and think I was so wrong, like that didn't take off, but if it keeps going the way it's going, then I think I have hit it at the right time.
I'd honestly say from like a viewer's perspective, like looking outside in, I genuinely say like if I was going to think of an equestrian podcast, I'd be like, where does everyone go when they do podcasts? I would say yours, because obviously there are a couple of others that are going, but obviously they're more like just the top riders. Yeah. Whereas you have all different kinds of equestrian people, like not just eventers or just show jumpers or just, like you've got just equestrian community, which again comes back to like Atlantic Harmony and beyond, Beyond the Stable and things like that. So that is a bit about Atlantic Harmony and Beyond the Stable and the podcast and things, and a little bit about you. So we're going to do some quick fire questions as well. So your best memory for Atlantic Harmony or Beyond the Stable?
Best memory, it's got to be the event.
Yeah.
I've said the same answer again, but it just has to be.
It was a massive thing for you. Yeah.
Loved the event.
And then the podcast?
Podcast.
Your best memory. It could literally be like, I don't know, you've had a really good episode and then after you've had like a feeling of just like, oh, that was so good. Or like...
I want to say, so now the podcast is at a stage of looking for sponsors and stuff like that. And I'll jump on these calls with these brands and they'll say, yeah, I listen to your podcast. Yeah, I know it. I think, you know my podcast.
Do you though? Oh my God.
What, you see that?
Yeah.
So they're like big pinch me moments, or like I was messaging a lady the other day and she was looking for like, I don't want to say influencer because that's horrible, but
content
someone
creation.
in the area that could help her out with content. Right. And someone tagged me in the post and I messaged her. I was like, oh yeah, like I've got a podcast. She was like, yeah, Beyond the Stable, I've seen that. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
so that's
crazy.
weird. And like sometimes like I'll go like down to like my yard. Like we were at a big competition yard where I livery, and you'll see people like they look at you
in a different type of way.
Yeah, they recognise you, but they can't quite tell where from. Yeah, but they know that they've seen your face somewhere, like on a reel on Instagram scrolling or something.
And they're like, oh, look twice, don't they? Yeah.
See, that's weird. I think just meeting people in person or speaking to people who know it. It's just so strange, and I think that's a big pinch me moment.
So after your best memory, what would you say? Not a worst memory, but like something where you're just like, oh, I could do that better, or
with the podcast or with
whichever you want.
Atlantic Harmony stuff goes wrong on the daily.
Really?
So
Is
like,
it hard?
especially like when you're dealing with actual product, there's always going to be things. I mean, you were here today when something went wrong. Like,
yeah.
I went to past a quarters that we've just had a restock, and I was like, oh, they've not
done
embroidered
properly.
right. So things like that happen all the time, like constantly, like I literally mean daily. And you've got to pick yourself up and just go.
Just get over it. Just get over it. Yeah.
So there's loads of those moments. Podcast wise, we'll just when tech doesn't work. That's a nightmare.
We were actually just having a conversation a minute ago. Didn't you say that your mics didn't work?
Yeah, I went and filmed an episode. But it's going to have to go out. Like it was a really good episode, so I'm going to have to try and do something in the editing to make it better.
It's like it's just such a shame, isn't it? Because you put so much time and so much effort, like the travel and things like that. Obviously, you've done it so much more than me, but like the whole day, and then for you to come back and look at the footage and then go, mics weren't plugged in. Yeah. Or like, I don't know, God forbid the camera wasn't recording or like something like that.
Well,
Like,
we were filming the other week, and one of the I'd filmed 3 podcasts in a row, and the camera died, and we didn't realise till the end, one of them. I'm lucky that we film on 3 angles, so I'm going to be able to make it work.
make it work. But that's an
just-
edit.
yeah.
It's going to be awful.
So little
Yeah.
things like that are horrible.
I have a question for you, actually. So, something I struggle with editing my podcast back, I get in my own head so badly. So, like, I have to film a podcast, and then, even if I'm just on my own, it's like a 20-minute episode, I have to leave it for a couple of days and then come back to it, because otherwise I will generally wipe the whole thing, because I overanalyze the entire thing.
Yeah.
But of myself, which I suppose is my own insecurity showing. But, like, when you're editing, do you ever just think, like, oh my God, can't put that in? Of myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. But I think where it differs from me and you is because a lot of your episodes are on your own. It's easy for you to wipe and say, oh, I'm just going to re-record that. Whereas because I've travelled like hours and this person's waiting on the episode to go out.
That's so true.
It's like, well, it has to go out,
Yeah,
even if
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like what I look like.
Yeah,
or,
that's so
do you know what I
true.
mean?
And also, I suppose, like, you're the interviewer, so I suppose you're listening to them more than yourself.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
on screen like 80%, well, probably 90% of the time.
Yeah,
Like.
that's so true. Yeah, honestly, I think I've got rid of 4 episodes before.
Yeah.
But then, they've all been on my own.
Yeah,
And
I
I've
mean, if I
literally gone,
filmed on my
"No."
own, they wouldn't go out. I don't
Really?
think a single one would.
Because I just listen it back, I'm just like, no one wants to hear that, like, waffle. But then at the same time, it's hard because, like, I love to listen to people waffle.
Yeah.
And talk nonsense and talk about nothing, because I'm just like, that's what goes on in my brain.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm going to feel like this about this episode. You're
You
going to
reckon?
send it me to approve, and I'm going to
Yeah.
say,
You ain't for now, honey. Sorry, guys, we just had to change batteries. Honestly, Sony cameras, can you fix your batteries, please? Because that is my 3rd battery. Can confirm. Anyways, so what is your most awkward situation since running the business? It could be bad customers, awkward episodes.
Okay, so I've started doing a bit more stuff like in like public, like with the
Yes.
public. So I'd say like the most awkward thing is like when you've got to go up to them and be like, "Do you want to be in a TikTok?"
Oh, and the manager will go, no.
Yeah, no,
Have
that's
you had
horrible.
that?
Yeah, there
it's
are
but-
people
yeah.
who don't want to be in them.
Yeah, fair enough.
Majority of the time, people do. Like
Yeah.
you can have a good guess at kind of who has TikTok and
Yeah,
who would
yeah,
be
yeah.
happy to go on it. But yeah, that's so awkward.
And then you got like people looking at you and
Yeah.
things like that, and you got your mics and
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I've got these 2
Yeah.
mics in my mind. I'm like, you want to be in a TikTok?
you're in my TikTok, please. Oh, I love that. So what is your worst riding ick? I asked this to all my guests. Your worst riding ick.
You put an example on there, and I'm going to steal it.
Okay.
No hat silk.
Oh yeah, no.
I can't.
No,
like
no,
our
no.
friend did it for a while. And I was like, you look like you're straight out of riding school. What are you doing?
I feel like riding school's an exception.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an exception. You're
Yeah.
just learning and things like that. But then out of that, okay, your hat still.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I just think you look so funny.
I know, like, and the hat always looks really, really large.
Yeah.
My sisters always take the mick out of me. I love my hat. I've always been a champion girl, but honestly, I've got the newer one that kind of comes down to the back of your neck a bit. I can't remember what it's called. Sorry, champion. But they always say how big my head looks. I'm like, my head's protected. So. What friend would you choose for a good night out?
All my friends are such good nights out.
Really?
Yeah, they're all
I wanna
so
go.
good. We were trying to convince her to come out with us
I
later.
know. I can do it. It's fine.
All of them.
Really?
Literally all the girls that you see like in the TikToks and stuff.
Can
they're
you
all
tell me
such
about
fun
Amelia?
times.
Because earlier we were saying how fun she is.
Oh my god,
Night
so
out.
I'll make it relevant. I'll tell you about when we went to Arena UK for ALX. We had a
Yes.
stand at ALX. And
Can confirm, Amelia's literally laughing in the background.
and she got so drunk, like so drunk. I mean, it wasn't my
Amazing.
fault. Like they were there, like the girls were there helping me. I was like, "Do you want shots? I'll buy shots."
Oh.
So I was buying them all shots and stuff like that. And that we had drink in the car and stuff too.
Yeah.
And she just got absolutely steaming and started doing cartwheels and back
Yes!
bends in like this
Back bends. Do a back bend right now. Can you do a back
She does
bend?
like walkovers and all sorts.
Gymnast.
That's her go-to when she gets drunk. She's like, "Should we have competition?"
Mate, I'm going to try a handstand competition.
I can't do a handstand.
What? Guys, she just said she can't do a handstand. Are you for real? Are you like, sorry guys, do you play mermaids in the pool on holiday? She said, do you play mermaids in the pool?
Oh yeah, you have
Oh,
to.
you have to. So guys, you guys like me. What is your favourite part of being in the equestrian industry?
I'm gonna again be cliche and say the people.
Yeah.
Like people like you. Like
Oh.
it's mental. Like and like I said earlier, how nice everyone is
Yeah.
that I've met. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Everyone's been really like
Yeah.
respectful, kind, things like that. Yeah. And then your least favourite.
Least favourite, again, sometimes the people.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I feel like when you find like the really kind ones, you're like, right, got you. But then you can, like, we all know what some horsey people can be like.
Yeah.
Being totally honest. Like, we've all had probably like a bit of a moment with some equestrian people in the industry.
Yeah, we want to change that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that. What is your go-to Bev?
I'm gonna get so much hate for this.
I'm gonna
I
judge you.
love-
No, I'm joking.
I love vodka with diluting juice. So do you know, like, cordial?
Oh, like squash?
Yeah.
Is that what you call it, diluting juice?
Yeah, what do you call
Squash.
it? Squash. I say diluting
Diluting
juice.
juice? No,
Yeah, but you dilute it,
You
so
do
that makes
dilute it.
sense.
No, you do. Wait, so with water?
Yeah, so you just make like a normal
Squash,
diluting
like you
juice,
do- yeah,
and
and
then
then-
put vodka in. So good.
Never tried it.
And it's good for like hangover as well, because like you're drinking water all night as well.
And you get drunk?
Yeah.
Obviously. Well, if you drink more, you just don't get drunk. Wow,
Yeah,
interesting.
And
I'm
it's
gonna
not
try
fizzy,
that.
so you can like, it
'Cause-
doesn't make you feel, ugh.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you. But like vodka orange, I suppose is a little bit similar or something. But vodka orange, like I get so like
Yeah, it's
on
heavy.
juice, yeah, really heavy. And then you get like indigestion. Oh, you only get me a Rennie, guys. Get me a Rennie. What is your most annoying yard chore?
Hay nets. Hate a hay
Don't
net.
talk about hay nuts.
Hate getting covered in the hay.
No.
Hate getting like splinters from the hay. Like,
Hate stuffing them.
no.
Oh, I hate hay nuts.
Not
I
a bit,
literally hate hay nuts. I have to try and put off them, so fine. When you're tacking up, are you saddle or bridle first?
Saddle.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
Yeah, I don't know anyone who's bridal, you know.
Everyone who I've asked have said saddle first.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it just
Definitely
has to
saddle.
be. Because then you literally just put the bridle on and then you go, don't you?
Yeah.
You don't like put the bridle on. Yeah, 100%.
And if you've, well, I suppose actually, if you had a martingale, maybe you might do it the other way around.
That's very true. Very, very true. So I have one more question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think most people listen to your podcast, my podcast? Where are they listening?
What, as in like not platform, like actually
No.
where?
Like, what are they doing when they're listening?
Okay, see, I want to say driving because that's where I
Yeah.
listen to all of my podcasts. But then when people tag me in stories of like them listening to my podcast, they're always like poo picking or something like
picking,
that. Like
yeah.
always. So either poo picking or
Poo
driving.
picking or driving. Yeah, and then I'd say for mine it would be like dog walking. Like playing
yeah,
it out
yeah,
loud.
yeah.
Or just if you're not a dog walker, like just playing it out loud. Cool, thank you so much for coming on my podcast. Cool, thanks, that's the end of that then.
That's that. Over.
Over. No, genuinely thank you so much for coming on
No,
my podcast.
thank you for having me. This is when you messaged me, I was like, why is she
Was
messaging
it?
me?
No, I wanted to because obviously you've interviewed so many like amazing people. I'm like, I want to know about you, and then now people can refer to this and things like that. So
Yeah, I feel like I've come across really different in this. Like in my podcast, I'm very like.
professional,
Yeah.
interviewer, yeah.
Whereas because you're like my friend, it's been
Yeah.
hard to be professional because I've just bounced off you. So
No, I love it. That's what I want my podcast to be. It's really just like you're on FaceTime to a friend and just chatty and laughing all the time and obviously screaming in the mics. But thank you so much. If you guys are listening on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you're on, what is it called? Spotify, you can leave me a 5-star review. If you can't be asked to do that, you can give me a follow, whatever you fancy. And yeah, where can they find you on socials?
everywhere, TikTok, Instagram,
Everywhere.
YouTube, Beyond the Stable, Atlantic Harmony, and then mine's Megan Christine.
Perfect. Is that your
Scott,
middle
Megan
name?
Christine Scott. I
Megan
just forgot my
Christine
own
Scott.
username.
Is that your middle name?
Yeah.
Christine. Where's that from?
My mum's Christina and I'm Christine. And it goes like that down the generations, like Christine, Christina,
Really?
Christina, Christina. Yeah.
Love that.
There you go, the more you know.
Yeah, we know a birth certificate. Cool. Thank you guys so much for listening. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.